What's up, my juice lovers? Welcome to the Cold Press Truth. This is Charlie Wetlaufer. Today we're going to be talking about probably the most important decision you're going to make when starting a juice bar, which is, of course, the menu. Of course, it's the menu. The menu is the single most important piece of content because every customer is going to see it. Every customer is going to interact with it. It's how they decide what to buy. It's what they share with their friends. It's what they find on Google Maps while they're searching for local businesses. It is the most important thing you're going to come up with when starting your business. So how do you navigate it? How do you know what recipes to put on? How do you know how much to charge? How do you know whether your recipes should be sweet or healthy? How many should you put on? We're going to cover all that today in this video. So, by the way, before we get started, if you want professional help designing your menu, we have a team of consultants, Chef Ari and Olivia Esquivel, who have helped hundreds of juice bars design their menus. Just go over to goodnature.com, resources, go to consulting, and you can meet the team there, and you can get a free 30-minute consultation. They'll get on the phone with you, talk to you about your business and your ambition and your desires and your dreams, and help you decide which direction to go. It's a free 30-minute call. Head over to goodnature.com. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go over the top 5 tips on creating your juice bar menu. I just published these in a new article called Juice Bar Menu Ideas and 5 Tips for Creating Your Own. And then at the end, we're going to look at some examples of juice bar menus that you can use as inspiration. Okay, so the first tip I think is most important. Keep it simple. You have so much to think about when starting a juice bar. Other than the menu, right? I mean, there's hiring, there's finding a location, there's marketing your business and finding customers, there's dealing with customers, happy customers, mad customers, angry customers, there's training staff, there's purchasing equipment, there's maintaining equipment, there's stocking your inventory. There's just a million things that you need to think about. And every time you add a new menu item, you're just adding complexity to your purchasing and inventory management. So keep it simple, especially in the beginning. We recommend like 5 to 7 juice recipes, and some, if you're doing smoothies, about the same number of smoothies, maybe a couple of juice shots and other items, but just keep it simple. You can find out what works, what doesn't work. You can add things, you can remove things, you can rotate in some seasonal items. You can really get creative with it when your menu's simple. Also, when you're buying produce, it's a lot easier to guess how much you need for 5 items rather than 15 or 25. And also when you're stocking your cooler, let's say you have 7 recipes and you think you're going to sell 30 of this recipe, 20 of this. You know, this one's popular. You're going to sell 50 of this one. It really gets hard to guess correctly the more recipes you have. Then you start underproducing and you don't have what people want and they leave, or start overproducing and you end up with wasting inventory. So neither of those is good. Keep it simple. Pretty easy tip there. Number 2, use overlapping ingredients in your recipes. This kind of relates to keeping it simple, but if you have 7 different recipes, you don't want all of them to have unique ingredients, right? So let's say each recipe is 5 ingredients, you have 7 recipes. That's 35 different items you have to purchase and manage inventory of and make sure you have enough of and you don't over purchase. And how do you share ingredients? Well, if you think about, like, let's say you have one recipe that has pear juice in it and another recipe that has apple juice. Maybe you can just use apple in both or just use pear in both. That way now, instead of buying 2 items, you're only buying 1. You can also think about that if you're doing herbs. You might be able to use the same herbs across recipes, or a citrus. Like if you have lime in one and lemon in another, maybe you can just use lemon in both. You get the idea. Number 3, study the local market. So you do want to study it for sort of pricing, but beyond that, there's a really important thing that Chef Ari, our consultant, always works with his customers on, and it's looking at how health conscious the local market is, because that's going to help you decide how hardcore or how healthy the juice recipes can be. And what I mean by that is, of course, you're going to have at least one recipe on each end of the spectrum, right? Super healthy recipe that maybe is like cucumber based, has lots of greens in it, it's not sweet at all. And then the recipe on the other end, super sweet, is pineapple, apple, etc. Because you want something for everyone. But then, like, what about the other recipes? Are you going to be more healthy or more sweet, right? And that really depends on the local market. And this is very important. Like, we've seen businesses fail because they get this wrong. For example, if you live in a health conscious area, you can keep your juice recipes on the not so sweet end of the spectrum. So if people are into juicing already and juicing's been around for a while, there are going to be a lot of people that have sort of graduated to the more not so sweet recipes. However, if your juicing is new to your area, you need to have more sweet options. Now, they don't need to be all the way on the sweetest end, but you just need to think about, like, your green juices maybe have a little more apple in them, so they're a little bit sweeter. You have pineapple in maybe one extra recipe or something. And the reason for that is you need to be approachable. And if you live in an area where people haven't really had green juice before, you're going to be their first experience with it. And you need to give them something that they're going to be comfortable with in the beginning. Now, I bet you as a juice bar owner, you're like super passionate about juice, probably love the hardcore green juices, and I do too, trust me. But I didn't start out that way, and I bet you didn't either. I bet in the beginning you were drinking the sweeter green juices, and now you drink the hardcore juices. So you need to think about that. And you can still have juices on the healthy end of the spectrum, but the ones that are kind of in the middle, you want to be a little bit on the sweeter side. That's all. And just remember, like, if the first time someone's ever trying juices in your juice bar, this may be the moment where they've decided that they're going to try to get healthy and start juicing. And at their very first experience with the juice, they don't like it because they think it's like bitter or not sweet enough. That could be the moment where they decide never to try green juice again because they tried it and they don't like it. You give them something sweet and they like it, they're going to be like, whoa, wow, this is actually way better than I thought it would be. And you're going to start them on their journey to becoming healthy. And then 3 months from now, they're going to be drinking the hardcore juices just like you and me. So just something to think about. Number 4, don't price everything the same. This is something Olivia Esquivel, our other consultant on the team, is very passionate about. You want to earn trust with your customers. And there's a mistake a lot of juice bars make where they're just like, I'm just going to price all my juices at $10. And which is fine for like the premium stuff. But then as a customer, if you go in and they have pure carrot juice or they have a lemonade, which is mostly water, and that's $10, my alarm bells go off. I'm like, hey, why are they charging me $10 for this? I know this is just mostly water, right? So you ruin trust with your customers. And, you know, juicing kind of has this stigma about it that it's like elitist and it's like ripping people off and stuff. And I think this is why, because when they see lemonade for $10, it doesn't make sense, or carrot juice or pure apple juice or something. Another good reason to not price all your juices the same, because if you have a range of prices, let's say they range from $8 to $10 or $6 to $10, then you can advertise the lowest price one on your menu or on social media or on your signage out front. Say healthy green juices starting at $6, starting at $8, right? That's actually a really good reason to do that, because you might scare people off if you only have high price stuff. Okay. Oh, by the way, we did a podcast episode recently about pricing juice. I recommend checking this out on Good Nature Radio. If you go on YouTube and search Good Nature Radio and just find the most recent episode, we did 45 minutes on just how to price your menu, just how to cost out your recipes, what to charge for them, etc. And we talk about not pricing everything the same in there, as well as plenty of other cool stuff. And my final tip here, be inspired, but don't blatantly copy. It's crazy how many juice bars just copy what they see other places. I'm not talking about being inspired. It's great to be inspired, right? Like maybe you love juice that's carrot juice, orange juice, and pineapple juice, which, by the way, it's a great combination. And lots of juice bars and lots of juice businesses have. I mean, it's one of Suja's most famous recipes that really started the juicing movement. But everybody calls it 24 karat gold. Why is that? Why does everybody call it the same thing? I don't get it. Like, it's okay to be inspired, but don't copy, you know? Just don't do it. I don't think you need to. And by the way, it's fun to come up with names. If you need help with it, go to our website, reach out to Olivia, go over to consulting. She can get on a free call with you. She's great at this stuff. She's mastered it. Her juice bars won awards for their recipes, so don't be shy. Okay, and then now we're going to get into looking at a couple examples of juice bar menus in the industry. The first one, so this is actually an example menu my team at Good Nature came up with, which you can use to sort of model your juice bar after. So you can see, first of all, the juices. Notice there's a price range, $8 to $10. We have 7 recipes here. Like I said, 5 to 7 recipes, that's all you need. We have stuff on the sweet end of the spectrum. We have stuff on the healthy end of the spectrum. And we even mixed in a seasonal blend there, watermelon, orange, hibiscus, and cardamom, which is like a great summertime recipe. We've got orange juice. We've got a red juice. Got a couple green juices in there. Then we get our plant-based milks. Notice we don't have 13 plant milks. We don't have 13 almond milks. We have 2. We have your standard almond milk that's sweetened with dates and has a little bit of vanilla in it. Delicious recipe, very popular. You know, you can find it. Almost every juice bar has some version of this. And then the chocolate almond milk. Almonds, again, sweetened with dates. And this one has a little bit of cacao. Now, remember before we were talking about sharing ingredients. Both of these have the same almond milk base. That's almonds and dates. One has vanilla, one has cacao. There. So you're basically making the same thing and then just separating 2 batches. One you add vanilla, one you add cacao. That's what I'm talking about when simplifying your recipes. Juice shots. Juice shots are a great product for a juice bar because they tend to be high margin. Your cost is pretty low compared to the price. So, you know, you can be making $3 or $4 on a $5 shot, which is awesome. So you have your cold and flu shot and your anti-inflammatory shot, which has celery juices in it. Smoothies. Again, so we have a range of smoothies here. We have 6 smoothies. We don't have 15. We don't have we don't have a custom smoothie. You know, it's okay if people want to customize here and there, but you don't want to advertise custom juices or custom smoothies. It just adds too much complexity. So smoothies are $9 to $12. Again, a price range. You don't just put them all at $12. The lower food cost items you can keep at $9. Couple breakfasts there, one with coffee in it, one without. Got your standard berry smoothie, which is my favorite, which has berries, elderberry juice, chia seeds, pomegranate, and honey for sweetener. Please do not ever hide sweetener in smoothies. A lot of juice bars you see will do really tricky things. Like they'll put vanilla as one of the ingredients, but it's actually vanilla syrup that's loaded with sugar. That's very tricky. Don't do it. I've returned smoothies because they tricked me into putting sugar in my smoothie. Using honey is fine. Everybody knows honey is you know, high in sugar. You can use honey, you can use agave, whatever you want, but just make sure the sweetener is clearly listed. We have a protein smoothie here: banana, strawberry, peanut butter, date nectar, almond milk. So the protein here comes from the peanut butter and the almond milk. You don't necessarily need protein powder to make a protein shake, just FYI. Then we have an example. So this is a Fresco Juice Co. They're based in Billings, Montana. They're a client of Good Nature's. We helped design their menu for them. You can see very simple menu. Same deal. A couple shots. a few juices, 6 juices, and 2 almond and 2 cashew milks. That's it. Simple menu. Here's their carrot orange drink. Hey, you know what? At least they're a little original calling it a 14 karat instead of 24 karat. It's a little tweaks here and there, right? And there you have it, my top 5 tips for creating a juice bar menu. If you like this, please subscribe, hit the like button. See y'all next time. Peace, love, juice.